Hey guys, I'm going to walk you through how to do some of the calculations for a couple homework problems. So this is a similar homework problem that you'll find in homework 1, where we've got 6 data points and we're going to have to do some calculations with them. There's an Excel data file that we can use. So I'm going to show you how to do these calculations in Excel. So go ahead and click that download the Excel file. The first thing we need to do is calculate X bar. X bar, if you remember from your reading, is just the average, the sample average. So Excel has an average function in it. So just type equals, begin typing average, double click that. We want the average of our data set. Hit enter, automatically calculates it for you. Next, this S squared is the variance. Variance of our sample in particular. Excel also has a variance function, so equals, begin typing variance, and there's var.p, var.s. Var.p is for variance of a population. Here we just have a sample set of numbers, so we're going to use var.s, variance of a sample. Double click that and highlight the numbers we want the variance of. Hit enter and it calculates that for us. Last, this S is the sample standard deviation. Okay, again, that's something you should know from your reading. I'm just going to do standard DEV. Excel also has STDEV for standard deviation. The .p again is for population. We just have a sample set, a subset of our population, so we're going to select .s for sample. Standard deviation of my sample here. Highlight those, hit enter. Okay, so those would be the first 3 answers for those texts. The z-scores, it asks to compute z-scores for each of the entertainment expenses. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We can use, this isn't very complicated, but we can use Excel as just a calculator. If you look in the book, a z-score, there's a formula for that. It equals on top an x value minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. Okay. So if I want the z-score for my first expense, this 358, I'm just going to follow the formula here. Parentheses, that's my x value minus the mean divided by my standard deviation. Z-score. I want a z-score for each of these numbers here. So Excel is pretty cool. I can just drag formulas across and copy them down. I'm going to drag this once and we can see what it looks like though. Notice my x value, I'm dragging the correct x value across all these formulas, but these boxes, I don't want those to move. Okay. So how I can account for that, I can lock cell F4 and F6. I lock a cell in Excel by hitting the F4 key. So above the number keys on your keyboard, there's a F1, F2, F3, F4. Hit F4, and it puts $signs around that cell, and that indicates that cell is locked. I'm going to do that same thing for F6. Hit the F4 key, and it locks it into place. Go ahead and hit enter. Now look what happens when I drag this down. Those cells have stayed in place. The one I want moved has moved. I now quickly have computed a z-score for all 6 expenses.